One of the most interesting things about gems, including diamonds, are their beautiful colors or lack thereof. So how does this wide range of amazing rainbow shades, some of which are incredibly rare, occur naturally in nature? Most gems are actually allochromatic, which means in their purest, most natural state, they're actually colorless. And in order to develop an amazing color, the crystal, while it forms, actually depends on impurities that it gets from the environment that it forms in, and these impurities are trace elements. Many of these trace elements are incredibly rare, which is why some gems and gem color varieties are so much more valuable than others. A great example of this in the gem world is the element of chromium, which only occurs in 100 parts per million on Earth. When found in tiny trace amounts in sapphire and ruby, it can create pink and red colors, and it even contributes to the green color in emerald. The color yellow is much more popular in the gem world, and we see it in a lot more gems, including citrine and yellow sapphire, because it's created by the element of iron, which is much more prevalent on Earth than some of the other trace elements. Because getting a trace amount of iron in a gem is a much more common occurrence, this is why a super saturated yellow gem like a citrine or a yellow sapphire is much more valuable and sought after than some of those watercolor and lighter tones of yellow. The same, of course, goes for diamonds, where a super saturated color is definitely much more valuable than a lighter tone of yellow, even though when it comes to diamonds, it's trace amounts of nitrogen that are actually causing this beautiful yellow shade. Of course, because Mother Nature is so unique and so variable, most gems actually get their colors from a wide range of combinations of trace elements. So for blue sapphire, for example, it's titanium that creates the blue, but often there's also the presence of iron too, which again can create a little bit of yellow. And of course, if you have a lot of yellow and blue together, you can also have a green sapphire with this combination. In this way, iron is a little bit notorious in the gem world because it can create a darker tone in a gemstone, and it does have that yellowish tint. So when combined with some of the other colors, it can create a greenish or brownish color, which is definitely a little less sought after when it comes to beautiful, bright, saturated hues. This is the reason why heat treatment is such a common practice in the gem industry, because high amounts of heat and even low amounts of heat can create a chemical reaction in a gem that can eliminate some of these yellow, greenish, brownish tints. And in fact, almost 90% of gemstones are approximated to be heat treated now. There are some gemstones that are idiochromatic, which means they don't require trace elements to get their color, and their hues depend solely on their own chemical structure. This means they never have to be heat treated, and they'll also never appear in a colorless form. A great example of this is beautiful green peridot, which is of course known as the birthstone of August.